Hello everyone, I'm back again with the last video about probability. وكده بقى تقريبا عملت اللي عليا قوي في probability. Probability with Venn diagram, as you can see over here. This is in your notes, page number 284. Probability with Venn diagram. This video is going to be very small. ودايما المسائل بتاعت probability اللي بتيجي في Venn diagram بتيجي في مسائل السيتس. يعني ممكن يبقى في عندي مسألة sets أصلا يقوم مدخل لي فيها probability. But I just wanted to give you an idea about probability with Venn diagram. طبعا هنا قال لي some people were asked if they cycle or swim. As you can see, 15 only cycle, 67 didn't swim, 50 كذا كذا. I'm giving all of these numbers over here. Let me go through them, through these numbers كده حاجة حاجة. طبعا أنا رحت النادي وجبت شوية ناس كده، عملت survey وشفت مين بيسويم ومين بيسايكل والكلام ده كله وبتاع. And then I came up with these numbers. Now let's analyze these numbers. Now this 44 over here represents those who swim only. Who swim only. And this 15 represents those who cycle only. Cycle only. The 9 represents the number of people who does both swimming and cycling. And of course these 52 decided ان هم they don't want to do any sort of sports. طبعا ده من حقهم جدا جدا جدا. ما حدش يقدر يقول لهم اي حاجة. Okay? Now let's look at the questions. You have this table over here. You can write the answers in the table. I'm just going to keep the Venn diagram هنا قصادي أو I'm going to scroll up and down مش أزمة. Now let's look at the first question over here. The first question says, how many people didn't cycle or swim? طبعا when the question says how many, this means that frequency is required. في كام واحد don't cycle or swim؟ يبقى طبعا هنا عندي 52. Allow the number of those who don't cycle or swim. How many people, those who don't do any sports يعني, how many people cycle and swim? How many people cycle and swim? Cycle and swim يعني they do both sports. فعندي مين how many 9. How many 9. تمام. هنا قال لي didn't cycle or تمام كده. نيجي بقى على السؤال اللي هو من هنا بقى. الكلام ده مهم. An adult is chosen at random from the group. An adult is chosen at random on the group, so this question immediately indicates probability. And remember that the probability is the number of outcomes divided by the total frequency. Type the probability, بصوا بقى. An adult is chosen from the group. Type do I know الجروب ده كام شخص؟ Actually I do. عندي دول اللي هم swimmers only. 9 swim and cycle. 15 cyclists only. 52 not fan of sports. So this is the group. So if I add these numbers, 52 plus 15 plus 9 plus 44, I will get the total of the group, which is 120. So whenever it says from the group, يعني from the total. Okay. From the total, find the probability that they cycle. ما قاليش cycle only, قال لي cycle بس. يبقى أنا what do I look at? I look at the circle of the cycle. يا مس طب ما في 9 بيسويم ماشي. هو ما قاليش cycle only. هو قال لي cycle بس. So from the 120, how many cycle دول? Cycle. So what do I do with these two numbers? I add them. So 9 plus 15 is 24. So 24 over 120. طبعا if you wish to simplify this fraction مش أزمة. طيب نشوف السؤال اللي وراه. The probability that they don't swim. Again, from the group. Who doesn't swim? يبقى what do I look at? I look at every number outside the swimming circle. Every number outside the swimming circle. فأنا عندي 15 cycle بس وال 52. طب ما ال 52 ما بيعملوش أي سبورتس ماشي. هو قال لي don't swim وخلاص. ما حددش. يبقى 52 plus 15. 67 over 120. You can actually pause the video and continue يعني if you wish on your own and then check your answers. From the group. Okay, question 5. Find the probability that they cycle or swim regularly. Now, what is the difference between cycle and swim? Or cycle or swim? Cycle and swim is the intersection. اللي هي الحتة دي. cycle or swim is the union. cycle or swim is the union. يعني كل اللي بيعمله cycling و swimming. يبقى how many بقى do I have? 15 plus 9 plus 44. So I get 68 over 120. Okay, question 6. From the group, the probability that they cycle or swim but don't do both. ها انتوا قولوا بقى. يعني انا هنا عايزه مين؟ عايزه السايكليستس وعايزه السويمست دي swimmers. عايزه those who cycle only and swim only. بس مش بيعملوا التو سبورتس مع بعض. So what do I do? 15 plus 44, which is 59 over 120. ثانية يا جماعة عشان الست بتاعت الخضار جايبة الخضار لماما. شايفة can you hear the conversation? Okay. بيتكلموا على البسلة. حاجة جميلة جدا. Actually البسلة is one of my favorite fruits. fruits ايه؟ One of my favorite food. بحبها قوي. طيب نيجي بقى هنا على question 7 and below. I'm just going to pause يا جماعة till this conversation is over because it's very interesting. Okay, the conversation is over. تمام. هنا بقى from question 7 and below, these are very, very important questions. Please, I'm going to highlight them لأن أنا شايفة إن هم مهمين بصراحة. هنا بقى بيقول لي إيه بقى في question number 7. Question 7 says what? If a swimmer is picked. معناها إيه دلوقتي بقى؟ معناها إن أنا I'm not focused on the group. أنا مش عايزة الجروب كله. أنا بس عايزة السwimmers. If a swimmer is picked. So now my denominator is not 120 anymore. My denominator is 9 plus 44, which is 53. أنا مركزة على السwimmers بس. What is the probability that they also cycle? So from the swimmers, who cycles? 9. So 9 over 53. Now, as you can see, but from question 7 and onwards, the denominator will change. Let's look at question 8. Question 8 بقى بيقول لي ايه question 8. If a cyclist ايه اللي حصل؟ Question 8 بيقول لي if a cyclist is picked. يبقى أنا what am I focused on now? On the cyclists. بس. How many cyclists do I have? 9 plus 15, which is 24. From these cyclists, who doesn't swim. من السيركل دي اللي أنا عاملاها بالأحمر. مين بره دايرة السwimmers? Who doesn't swim? 15. So it's 15 over 24. 15 over 24. Okay. Let's move on to question number 9. دي زيادة يا جماعة معلش. Sorry. دي زيادة. يا حبيبي اكتب. ما تجيش على الهنج في الآخر بقى وتهنج. Okay. Technical problem. ثواني. Okay, so going back to question number 9, what is the probability that someone who cycles or swims? يبقى أنا دلوقتي بقى مركزة على مين؟ Cycle or swim. And as we said, cycle or swim means the union. 15 plus 9 plus 44. All of those who do the sports. 68. 15 plus 9 plus 44. What is the probability that the someone who cycles or swims, who does both? يعني from these numbers, how many do both sports? 9. So it's 9 over 68. And the last question بقى يا حبايبي وكده تبقى probability يعني اتشرحت على قد ما قدرت. I hope فعلا it's useful to you. If a person doesn't swim, يبقى what do I look at? I look at the numbers outside the swimming circle. So 15 plus 52. 15 plus 52. If a person doesn't swim, what is the probability that they cycle? يعني from those who don't swim, who cycles? The 15. So the probability is 15 over 67. وكده يا جماعة أقدر أقول لكم إن أنا يعني شرحت probability على قد ما قدرت. I hope it was useful to you. طبعا probability you need to practice a lot. If you wish to practice more in probability, you can always practice in classifieds part 2 and 4. You can refer to the pages from your index. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye, probability.